All right, Chris, so thank you for sharing your Bikram Yoga Portsmouth story with us. And I'd love to start by asking you, how long have you been practicing? And yeah, so let's start with that. Go ahead.
Let's see, I actually remember almost to the day. It was October 2006.
Wow. Okay.
So, and the reason I remember is because I was having a lot of back pain. I had sciatic pain down my leg and a disc problem, and I'd been seeing all kinds of different doctors and you name it, chiropractor, Reiki, Rolfing, therapy. I mean, I literally, if you name it, I probably tried it, and I was in a lot of pain, and it wasn't getting better. And I had seen a surgeon, and this was sort of the last thing for me before surgery. It was like, if it goes on if this pain doesn't subside in a certain number of days, weeks, months, whatever, he would recommend it operating because he didn't want my nerves to get damaged too much and all that kind of stuff. So in the course of, I'm the type of person that when I'm experiencing something like that, I try to read a lot, I ask a lot of questions and devour as much information as I can to try to figure it out. And I like figuring out puzzles, and especially when it's my problem. And I ended up finding an article or a blog post that Sara had written. Her story was basically very, very similar to mine. A really serious back problem. She had been told surgery was in her future, and she was determined to avoid it. And somehow she found Bikram Yoga. So long story short, that was her story, and I was like, there's not only something I can try that I hadn't tried yet, but also a person that was having a similar, or had a similar experience.
So we're going to start.
So
And you said that you talked to Sara before your first class.
I did. I think I even wrote her an email before coming in for a couple of reasons. I just kind of wanted to get her opinion, and also because I was in really serious pain, like the kind of pain where, I'm not exaggerating, I would go home at the end of a workday and I would eat dinner lying on the floor because I couldn't sit and I couldn't stand at the end of a workday. So that's the kind of pain I was in, and I was really nervous about class and how I was going to make it through and adjustments and the like. And so I talked to Sara. I emailed her and then I talked to her before class, and she was just so helpful and comforting, particularly in the fact that, go give it a try, and then talking to me about ways I should try to adjust, things I should not do, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a really, really helpful kind of dose of that little, I could easily have gone in there and then left the room if somebody other than Sara had talked to me. I could have just said, yeah, it's not going to do it.
So what was that first class like?
Well, one thing I remember was really painful, but again, that's, I was going through something pretty extreme at the time. And I remember feeling totally like a fish out of water. Every analogy you could use, I felt that way. I had never done yoga before, never thought I would do yoga, quite honestly. And of course, there's people in the room that are doing amazing things. And when you're in the room, you don't know if they've been doing it for a week or 10 years. You just know, wow, look at what that person's doing, and I can barely balance on one leg, So I remember it just being this combination of experiences where it was, first of all, it's painful, but again, my experience, and also really, really challenging, separate from whatever I was physically battling at the time. I remember coming away being amazed at how physically challenging the yoga was. I had always imagined yoga as way more of a mental thing, way more of an om and all this kind of stuff. And I never saw myself as that kind of person, so that didn't really appeal to me. But I walked away. I remember telling my wife about it. She always has been into different types of fitness. She was a gymnast, and she's a yogi today here. Probably goes more often than I do, actually. But she was always into class type fitnesses too. So I thought she'd really like it, but I was amazed at how physical it was.
Yeah. I liked what you said about it being at the same time challenging, but then healing, that balance, and that surprising you.
I still feel that way to this day. It's one of the reasons, it's one of the many reasons I keep coming and I keep doing it is, right or wrong, I know it was sort of, my experience had been things either demanded things of your body, right? You had to be in shape to do them, right? It's like run a marathon. You can't just do that, right? And after you have to rest, and you probably want to get rubbed down and massage and therapy and do all these things to recover. So I'd always imagined like exert, recover, recover. And what I found in yoga was something that I thought personally did both. At the same time in class, you're exerting, I'm sweating like crazy, right? I just finished class. But also you feel different after class. You feel looser, more flexible, more alert. I sleep better the nights after I've gone to class, and that's not an exaggeration. That's not, that is flat out the truth. I sleep better. Every time I go to class, I have a much better night's sleep the next night. So I love that balance, that ability. It's the only thing I personally have found that I feel like does both. That really, at the same time, you're getting that experience. So.
Nice. All right, so lastly, I just would love you to give advice to someone who's watching this and is on the fence about coming in for their first class. What would you tell them?
First of all, just do it. Would be what do I tell them? But also, like Sarah might get mad at me for saying this, but I tell people honestly that don't judge it by whether you enjoy the first class. Some people come in and they go, oh my God, and they just love it. I still talk about it to this day with my wife. She's like, oh, I just loved class. And I'm like, I survived class, almost, I absolutely enjoy the feeling and the benefits. I enjoy all the people. I enjoy the instructors. I enjoy the exertion. I enjoy the physical challenge. But to say that you're gonna enjoy class, I think there are types of things that some people would associate with yoga where it's super relaxing. Some people go to a Pilates class or certain types of yoga and they go, this is not that. And I think some people, I've talked to some people that go, oh, I did it once and I didn't go back. And
they didn't give it a chance.
They went and judged it by that first experience, and that's just, it's not really you're not gonna experience those benefits. So of course you're not gonna enjoy it. And I think there are certainly a percentage of people that would, but I think most people probably aren't going to walk away going, that was awesome. But if you go a few times a week for a period of time, or certainly during the 10 days that they offer, go as many times as you can, and then see what happens. Start to notice those little things where all of a sudden you're more flexible. I think one other thing I tell people, and I mentioned to you, is I know for me, I've told Sara she should make t-shirts of this. I call it 90 minutes of truth.
Yes, I love that.
That's my 90 minutes of truth. Should I go skiing? Should I play hockey? Is my body up to it? How do I really feel today? What do I look like in the mirror? You cannot lie to yourself. You can't hide. And I actually find something awesome about that. I always know that I'm going to go get a hard, cold dose of reality that I need. That we're really good at telling ourselves stories, right? About what kind of shape we're in or how hard we're working out.
It's a good check-in. Okay, this is where I'm at.
Where else can you get a self-checkup like that? So that's those are some things I would tell somebody that's thinking about trying.
All right, well, thank you so much. Anything else before we finish that you want to add?
Just about the people.
The community.
Sara and Jalen are the studio owners, and not only are they great people, they're great instructors. You will root for them in their business to succeed. You'll actually want to become part of the community and make it happen. And nobody in here is judging you, not the instructors, not the other yogis. Everybody's barely making it through class themselves. So if I remember in my early classes, I was always thinking, I fell out of posture and somebody's looking at me, or they're noticing I can't.
But they're not. They're all.
I promise you, nobody's going to notice. And everybody's super, super supportive, no matter what walk of life or level of experience they have. So
awesome. All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for sharing, and I look forward to sharing this with the rest of the community and others who want to try Bikram.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.